Carly joins us now for sports. Carly, the Bobcats really cutting down that roster. Now it's at 40, and it's, they're going to continue. So.
Yeah, they got to keep, dwindling those numbers down. This is always a tough, part of the season for the coaching staff. Obviously, none of these decisions are ever easy, and they don't look forward to it, but you got to do what you got to do. Well, today was the last chance for the record number of players attending Bobcats training camp to make a lasting impression on Coach Curran before the first round of cuts. And as Aaron Strack reports, the decisions for the Colonel and his staff weren't easy, but this is just the beginning.
Worst part, there's no question. I'm not going to elaborate. I guess you ask yourself a question, and you like telling 35 kids that, you know what, you're just not going to make it here this year. I don't think it's easy for anyone.
Over 80 players skated Saturday. That number is being cut in half for tonight's top 40 game.
There's going to be some different line combinations, so it's going to be hard for players to adapt to systems that coaches are going to lay out for them. So it's definitely it's going to be a good game tonight. I'm hoping to see lots of talent, lots of skill, and a great compete level for all the players.
Players stood quietly waiting to meet with the Colonel and scouts. Matty Marcineau was one of those guys hoping for another chance to dress and battle for a spot.
Whatever happens, happens, and we just got to hope for the best. I play my best, so we'll just see what happens.
Last season, goal scoring was a concern. That's one area the Cats are hoping to improve on this year.
Last year I was a scorer on my team, so I think this year if I end up cracking the squad, I can bring that here as well.
It's going to get a lot better when we get lines together that we think are going to be good. There's the talent is out there. They just hopefully we have much more offense than we did last year, at least potential offense anyways.
Aaron Strack, New Cap Sports.
Well, adjusting to life after junior hockey isn't always easy, but thanks to the Bonnyville Pontiacs, things just got better for those players who are fortunate enough to continue their education and playing careers at the post-secondary level, whether it be in Canada or the United States. Clayton Brown showcases a scholarship initiative designed to help ease the financial stress for players taking their game and schooling to the next level.
The Bonnyville Pontiacs held their second annual Education Breakfast fundraiser. The event is used to raise money for scholarships, which are awarded to players heading to post-secondary institutions.
Hockey is no guarantee, but education is, and that's our main focus as well as hockey is to instill education into these young hockey players' minds, because education is a no-fail road.
This year is the first year players have received a scholarship from the program. The 4 graduating Pontiacs awarded the grant all had to meet a criteria set by the organization.
It's all based on them, their community appearances, the classes that they are taking, and they have to be going to college, whether it's a community college, a university in Canada or the States.
One of the 4 recipients of this year's scholarship is former Pontiac forward Devin Kalinski, who is headed down to southern Alberta to attend the University of Lethbridge and play for the Hurricane.
We get an opportunity. A lot of teams I know don't get the same opportunity to go to and get the team to pay for their schooling. So, it's nice that they do that for us.
The amounts this year came out to be a total of $12,000. We handed out 4 graduating players $3,000 each.
The breakfast kicked off the 4th and final day of the Pontiacs main camp. In Bonnyville, Clayton Brown, New Cap Sports.
All right, hockey fans, get your popcorn ready because the preseason begins this Wednesday as the Bonnyville Pontiacs travel to the border city to battle it out against the new-look Bobcats. It will be your first look at the condensed but not final roster. Well, the first 4 days of turning and burning at the CPCA Finals tied up all the loose ends except for just one, who would drive away from the border city in the 5 days of racing in a brand spanking new red GMC truck with the title and the truck on the line. All eyes were on heat number 9 yesterday. 6-time Canadian champ Brian Lambicane had the last choice of barrel position. He was forced to the outside on 4. Young gun Devin Mitsewing would take number 3, defending 2010 champ Gary Gore selected number 2 in a surprise move, leaving fellow young gun and Gary's son Logan on the inside at barrel 1. Devin Mitsewing would actually be the last to leave the figure eight. Logan Gorse would get to the rail first, securing the outside of the track. Raider Oil Field Services Gary Gorse gets out in front of Mitsewing, and Lamacane is then forced to run 4 wide. Devin tries to break through the wall that is the Gorse family. He starts to make his move on the 3rd turn. He pushes way to the outside, coming out of the 4th and final turn. Loon Lake's Devin Mitsewing gets up and out of his seat, and the fans start to cheer. The confetti flies, the crowd is cheering, and just like that, the CPCA has a new champion, young gun Devin Mitsewing and his Valor Homes outfit. Now, Devin just missed out on 2nd place in the standings by a half a point coming into the final day, but it didn't seem to affect him. He is the new 2011 Canadian champion.
Oh, unreal. Like, crossing the finish line and look back and seeing my brother with their hands up, you know, this just made me explode. Oh, my game plan coming into Lloyd was to move in the 2nd. I knew I could do it with a few good runs, but I missed it by half a point. So coming into today, I just thought it doesn't matter. You know, I just got to go out and run a race and win it.
And when he did. Well, now here is a look at the 10 CPCA drivers who have raced their way into qualifying for the 100th anniversary of the GMC Rangeland Derby. Now, also qualifying, although you don't see him on this list, is Vernolan. He is invited to attend after qualifying at this past summer's races. Well, we go to the ballpark now, where Mother Nature cooperated this weekend as 24 slow pitch teams gathered in the border city to support 5 families battling cancer. Over the past 10 years, the Laurie Craven Memorial Tournament has helped raise over $200,000 for deserving families. This year's event was off to a great start even before the first pitch was thrown.
I mean, we had a very good kickstart from Goodsell last weekend, so we're already sitting at, we were sitting at probably 40,000 before we even got to the tournament here yesterday morning. So we're hoping to beat our 88, but
meet or beat it, and we're happy. Anything.
That's our goal.
Whatever we.
To have like complete strangers, like we don't know half of these people, or probably more than half of them, and that they're so willing to give, you know, just unselfishly for something that we need help with. It's amazing.
Families, friends, and teammates joined forces to remember Laurie and keep the spirit of the tournament alive and well.
Everyone wins at the Laurie Craven Memorial.
It's gratifying. It's probably the best word. Just glad that we can help.
Lisa Saunders and her family are hoping they can share even more positive news before next year's event.
We're hoping that next spring, by the time May 2nd comes around for her birthday, she'll be done with everything and just be back to normal, whatever that is, right?
We go to boxing now, where the best boxers in the border city stepped into the ring to go toe-to-toe against regional opposition this weekend. Jacob Zaire was ringside and tells us who packed a punch.
The latest Proving Grounds event hit Lakeland College this past Saturday and let local boxing hopefuls take to the ring to test their skills. Lloydminster's John Clausen won his first bout of the tournament by using superior technique to thwart his brawling opponent, and he repeated that performance in his finals bout, using a stiff jab and crisp combination to capture the welterweight title.
Out of the blue corner,
it was definitely a battle. The stakes were a lot higher than the last time I fought, and I really had to dig deep. Like he hit pretty hard, so I had to come back harder.
And that was largely the story of the night. Those who put in the hours in the gym sparring were able to best even the gamest opponents.
With the kind of like the street fighter mentality, that person who shows a lot of heart and moves forward, I mean, I truly believe that the boxer will overcome the fighter that way.
For the night's main event, 2 super heavyweights duked it out. Brent Solanka got knocked around a bit in the first round by his opponent, but he rallied in the second round, landing 2 huge right hands to put his opponent out and capture the heavyweight title.
I knew it was going to be tough. The guy's huge. If he can take a punch, he's going to be able to give one too, you know. And I knew it was going to be tough, and it was just wait that out and let him wear some of his energy out and then capitalize. And That's exactly what I did.
All in all, it was a great night of fights, showing once again that Proving Grounds remains the best first step for anyone considering competing in combative sports.
It's a stepping stone where if a fighter maybe wants to venture into the MMA world, you know what, I don't want all the stress of having to cross-train this. I mean, both take a lot of work, but there's no question MMA takes a lot of work. And maybe this is a way I can get my feet wet and see if I can feel and rise to the occasion.
Jacob Zare, Newcap Sports.